Mr. Regling.
Yes, thanks and good evening to all of you from Luxembourg. Let me add a few words from an ESM perspective on our interesting discussion on the economic situation and the outlook. I can say what I hear from financial market participants. They have, of course, their own forecasts. Some are a bit more pessimistic, others are more optimistic. I see growth rates between 2.5% and 5.5%. But if I average all that out, it's very similar to the forecast that was released by the Commission last week. I also hear that investors are concerned about the speed of the implementation of the recovery and resilience plans and facility. Of course, they are very positive on that decision that was taken last year, but they are worried that delays might affect negatively growth rates. And I think in that sense, it's good that the relevant regulation has been adopted now, and that is good for market confidence. And they will now focus on the speed of disbursement and the quality of the reforms that will be supported by the next generation EU. Market participants, in a way, are also waiting for the fiscal guidance that will come from the Commission and the Eurogroup in spring, as the President and the Commissioner said. On the international role of the euro, that is, of course, an ongoing debate that has happened many times, but also in the Eurogroup. But the communication issued by the Commission in January, I think, was a very good basis for the discussion today. I have argued for a long time that a stronger international role of the euro would add to the stability of the international monetary and financial system. During the last decades, we have seen several times that an over-reliance on the US dollar has risks, particularly for emerging markets. We saw that during the Latin American debt crisis in the 80s and the Asian financial crisis in the 90s, and also the recent episodes where the dollar was used as a policy tool reminded us that this is not good from a European perspective. In my view, the international monetary system is gradually, of course, very slowly, moving towards a multipolar system where 3 or 4 currencies will be important. And that would naturally reduce dependence on the dollar. But we should not only look at the dollar. The Chinese currency, the renminbi, will likely become one of these global currencies over time. Today, the RMB, the renminbi, is still far below the euro status, but it's moving up and catching up very quickly because of the strong growth of the Chinese economy, its weight in the world economy. China will become the biggest economy in the world very soon, and because also the Chinese authorities have declared it a political priority to reduce the dependence on the dollar. For the euro to strengthen its international role, it is essential that we continue to work on deepening the economic and monetary union. And therefore, all the elements mentioned in the Commission's communication of last month are important in this respect. Completing banking union, progress on capital markets union, further developing the architecture of monetary union, strengthening the financial infrastructure, the digital euro, and more safe assets. And on this last point on safe assets, the decisions taken last year were important to increase the volume of European safe assets, as also Commissioner Gentiloni said. But to recall, we had a year ago, just the moment where the crisis started, We had a stock of European safe assets already of about 800 billion euro, bonds issued by the EIB, the ESM, and the Commission. But with the decisions taken last year, Next Generation EU, SURE, some more EIB activities, this can go up to 2 trillion over the next few years. And I think that is positive also for the international role of the euro. Just a quick word on the solvency of the corporate sector. I agree with what the President and the Commissioner said. It will be important to monitor the solvency of corporates, because rising insolvency could affect negatively the banking sector, but also increase possibly public debt. In this context, it's good to remember that with the ESM becoming the common backstop to the Single Resolution Fund next year, we have created a strong second line of defense in case it's needed. And although I do not expect that it will be actually needed, it is reassuring to have such a safeguard in place. Thank you.